Welcome to Hockeywzitalks podcast. Today I'll update you on the second round of the NHL playoffs. This is an update on the Eastern Conference matchups. The Columbus Blue Jackets are leading their best of 7 series against the Boston Bruins 2-1. The Bruins won Game 1 in overtime on a Charlie Coyle game-winning goal. The Blue Jackets entered back in Game 2 on the heels of a Matt Duchene game-winning goal. Columbus took a 2-1 lead in the series thanks to a stellar performance from Sergei Bobrovsky, who made 36 saves in the win. Sergei Bobrovsky seems to be a brick wall in goal and is stopping everything he sees. If Boston wants to win this series, they need to start simplifying things and start getting traffic in front of them and get deflections on point shots. The top players for Columbus have shown up in this series, while the top players for Boston have seemingly disappeared. Matt Duchene and Artemi Panarin have carried the load offensively, while Seth Jones and Zach Werenski have shut down the top guys for Boston. Brad Marchand, Patrice Bergeron, and David Pastrnak have been real quiet in this series. They need to step up their game or Boston has no chance of beating Columbus. The way things are looking right now, it seems like Columbus might make their first ever conference finals appearance. The Carolina Hurricanes lead their best of 7 series against the New York Islanders 3-0. The Hurricanes won a tight check in Game 1, 1-0, thanks to a Jordan Staal game-winning goal in overtime. In Game 2, the Hurricanes came from behind to win the game 2-1, but lost Peter Mrazek and TVR to injuries. The Hurricanes took a 3-0 lead in the series thanks to 3 third-period goals. The Carolina Hurricanes have completely dominated this series by taking what the Islanders do best and throwing it back at them. The New York Islanders are having a tough time getting through the neutral zone, similar to how the Pittsburgh Penguins did in the first round against them. The Islanders' defense, which was stellar against the Penguins in round 1, was not so stellar against Carolina, as Carolina was willing to engage in physical play with the Islanders and showed they weren't intimidated. Jacob Slavin is tied for a league lead in points in the playoffs with 12, and both Jordan Staal and Warren Foegele have 8 points apiece. Whether it's Peter Mrazek or Curtis McElhinney in net for Carolina, it doesn't seem to matter, as Carolina has completely dominated the series. On the other hand, the New York Islanders offense has completely gone quiet in this series, and Robin Lehner has come back down to earth. After beating the defending Stanley Cup champions Washington Capitals, the Carolina Hurricanes look like they can be a Cinderella story this year. And now, a word from our sponsor. This is an update on the Western Conference matchups. The series between the St. Louis Blues and Dallas Stars is currently tied 2-2. The St. Louis Blues won Game 1 behind a 2-goal game from Vladimir Tarasenko. In Game 2, Roope Hintz had 3 points and Matt Zuccarello had 2 points to tie the series up at 1. After a tight check-in game through 40 minutes of Game 3, the Blues and Stars traded goals in the third period, but the Blues would hold on to win the game 4-3. In Game 4, Tyler Seguin and Matt Zuccarello both had 2 points to help the Stars tie the series up at 2. It didn't really take long before these two teams really started to dislike one another. For that reason, this series is the most entertaining to watch because of the brewing rivalry. The top players for both teams have come to play in this series. Vladimir Tarasenko is red hot right now, as he has a goal in every game in this series. Jaden Schwartz has also been great for St. Louis. Colin Parayko is doing a great job as a shutdown defenseman in this series, and is also contributing more offensively as well. The top 6 of Dallas, Ben, Seguin, Radulov, Hintz, Zuccarello, and Dickinson, are making a tremendous impact thus far in this series. Mira Heiskanen and John Klingberg are doing a good job chipping in as well. Ben Bishop and Jordan Binnington haven't played their best in this series, but they have been there when their team needs them to be. By how the first 4 games have gone, it looks like this series has the potential to go 7 games. The San Jose Sharks lead their best of 7 series against the Colorado Avalanche 2-1. The San Jose Sharks won Game 1 5-2, as the Sharks proved to be too much for the inexperienced Avalanche. The Colorado Avalanche showed resilience as they would win Game 2 4-3. The Sharks took a 2-1 lead in the series thanks to a Logan Couture hat-trick. The San Jose Sharks have a better team overall, and the San Jose Sharks have been the better team overall in the series. This was expected because they have way more playoff experience than the Avalanche. However, the Avalanche have shown all year that they should not be taken lightly, so this series is far from over. Logan Couture has been the best player for the Sharks all playoffs long, and is tied for the league lead in points with 12. Brent Burns has 11 points in the playoffs, and both Erik Karlsson and Thomas Hertl have 10 points in the playoffs. Nathan MacKinnon is also tied for a league lead in points with 12, and Mikko Rantanen has 11 points in the playoffs. It is very obvious that the San Jose Sharks are a much deeper team than the Avalanche, and because of that and their playoff experience, that gives the Sharks an edge in this series. Bearing no meltdown by San Jose, they should advance to the conference finals. In my next podcast, I preview the conference finals in the NHL playoffs.